Hello, I'm Jay, owner of Volunteer Audio in Oliver Springs, Tennessee, and I'm excited. I've got Brandon here with me. He works for Precision Power, Soundstream, MotorcycleAudio.com. So all the Soundstream Reserve radios that have been the absolute game changer and all of you love so much in your Harleys, this guy is the one who engineered them and built them. So blessed to have you here.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk about something new. Well, they've got some new speakers that have come out with. We've been using the Precision Power, their standard, what they call the MAS or Motorcycle Audio speaker line, the 654s, the 694s, 692s, 522s, all the speakers that we already showed you that were really awesome. They took the neodymium magnets, moved them to around the tweeter on the 6x9, and developed a really awesome, I'm not going to call it entry level, but a lower price point speaker that really turned out really nice. So now they've stepped up to what we're going to call more of a pro audio or competition style speaker that they've released. Extremely loud, extremely efficient, but unlike a lot of the other manufacturers that have what we would call a compression horn tweeter, this uses a ring radiator tweeter. So that harsh part, as Brandon says, we were talking earlier, the harsh part that hurts your ears, might even damage your ear from those compression horns. You just have way too much treble. You actually have so much treble, I can't hear the bass.
Yep.
The way our ears work, if we hear more treble, we hear less bass. And we know, after speaking to so many of you, nobody ever thinks they have enough bass. So why would we add extra treble and make it where you can't hear what bass that you do have? So these speakers, I've listened to them, pretty blown away with the efficiency.
Thank you.
The 6.5 is stupid loud. The 6x9, I still don't understand. We talked earlier, I don't know how he made it so loud. There's a couple things that go along with having a comp style speaker though. It's going to be super, super lightweight with a neodymium magnet, so it's really powerful, but a super lightweight cone so that a very little bit of power creates a whole lot of noise. When I say noise, I want to let you know that they still sound really good. They're very clear, very clean. This isn't just distortion. So you're going to be able to hear it at, I want to say 100 plus miles an hour, no problem. Yeah. A lot of you call at 60 miles an hour, you can't hear your bike. The reason you're calling us is you want something louder. This definitely answers that. But with it being a comp speaker, are these waterproof?
They are water resistant.
Okay, so it's a water resistant speaker, and I want to point that out specifically because a lot of you are fair weather riders. You're going to ride on pretty days only. You're probably not even going to wash your bike. You wipe it down with some sort of wax or detailer spray. And you guys, this is going to be an amazing speaker. We don't have to worry about water whatsoever because you don't ride in it. Now, the ones of you that ride 3 days in the rain to get where you're going or every day, no matter what the weather is, this may not be for you, but I want to go into some details on that. For this to be as loud as it is, to be a competition style, and a lot of you guys are looking for competition sound after you go to rallies, but you want to do this on a rider style system, and at Volunteer Audio, we only do rider systems. I'm not going to make your bike where it handles worse, where you don't want to get out and ride it. I want it to ride like it always did, maybe even better, because now you're pumped up with your new sound. But these speakers are going to drop in without modification. But to be as loud as they need to be, they're not going to have a waterproof seal to keep water out of the voice coil. That's not really a problem in your fairing. I think in your road glide, your street glide, the ultras and so on, you mount this in a fairing, the way it's mounted, no water's ever going to get in it to the point that it gets in the speaker or causes a problem. My only concern are the guys with the 6x9s and the lids. The solution to this, a couple things. First off, if you pour water in this, it's going to go out the other side, it's going to get in your bag. So I'm warning you right now, do not put water in the middle of this speaker. Now, every other manufacturer that you see with a speaker like this, with a horn style tweeter in the middle, has the same issues. They're not waterproof, water will run through them, and a lot of them, you're going to see those tweeters go out due to the water getting in them. So our solution is we have a membrane cover that goes over your bag lid that you only install when you're going to wash the bike or if you get caught in the rain. It's very small and compact. You can keep it in your bag, and we don't have to worry then about water getting in them. But on the pretty days or when it's not raining, you have the loudest, clearest, most amazing 6x9 you've ever heard in your bag. And I'm going to say that's really how I feel about it right now, and we'll do some blind listening with some of our employees, and we're going to do a video on it really, really soon where we go over those details between each one of the brands and what we think, who we think each one of these is best suited for. So give us a little bit more information about the build, about the specs of it. I've covered the waterproof part, how loud it is, what I think. So
So the HT series of speakers stands for horn tweeter, by the way, in case you were curious to know. The HT speakers are definitely the answer to the call to the guys that want that higher efficiency, that rockin' sound as you're cruising down the road. The magic really is in this ring radiator tweeter, like Jay was talking about. It does have that nice crisp high, and it's super plenty loud, but it doesn't have that ear damaging, piercing kind of sound that some of those compression tweeters have. You know, we listened to a lot of different speakers and decided that this was the best way to go for us. So with all that in mind, the speakers get about 93 to 95 dB on average, which is anywhere from like 5 to 7 dB louder than a typical coaxial speaker.
Well, let me intercede for just a minute because I know this to be true. Some of the other companies are going to give a bigger number. I've seen well over 100 dB efficiency,
Yeah.
but understand a lot of the other companies with a similar style speaker that have a compression horn, they're going to be telling you the efficiency of the tweeter alone. The number that they're giving us at Precision Power is the entire speaker playing the full musical spectrum. It's not just a high-pitched frequency out of a tweeter.
That's right.
So the other thing is, we know from talking to most of you, and this isn't all of you, but most of you like your classic rock, your 80s rock, a lot of metal, where the high-pitched frequencies can be just overwhelming with a compression horn style speaker like he was talking about. This ring radiator tweeter, I've listened to it with a lot of those genres, and I don't think it's too bright. But yet when we get into modern country, modern rock, hip hop, it's still, like he says, very, very clear, very, very crisp. It has enough tweeter and enough mid-bass to have a really good, full, loud sound. So let's talk about power, about how much power are we going to need to run these?
So these speakers have the potential to hold up to well over 150 watts. 6.5 is 150. There's a 6x9 and an 8-inch as well that'll take up to 200 watts.
So that's RMS power though, right?
Yes, sir.
So should be able to peak out probably roughly twice that. This bike right behind me, we're doing a step-by-step build series on. Be sure to watch that, and I'll get some footage and some sound clips from that, and hopefully add it in at the end of this video, because I want you to hear exactly what it sounds like in one of our walkaways and on the bike. This belongs to Leonard, that's Traveling Tall, if you know Traveling Tall, the YouTuber. He's got a huge following. He does an excellent job. This is his brother-in-law's bike. So it'll also be on their channel, and hopefully we'll get some riding footage and some other video letting you hear just how awesome it sounds. So I did say, though, this was a comp style speaker, and we know guys that have comp style speakers, they like to play it really, really hard.
Yep.
So what's the most likely part of the speaker to blow if we did something stupid?
The most likely part to fail is going to be the tweeter if the guys are running it too hard. And our answer to that is we can offer a replacement tweeter that's available through Jay or through any of your local dealer. This cap can come off. It's just 4 Phillips screws, super easy. Unplug it, put in the new one, put the 4 screws back in, and you're off to the races again. Super easy.
So we've got a great built speaker. It's going to handle a lot of power. It's going to handle a lot of abuse. But if we do something like send a big clip signal into this tweeter and we do take it out, we don't have to throw these speakers away. We simply buy a rebuild kit for the tweeter and we put it in. Now, I will tell you, these are comp style speakers. I've already told you they're not waterproof. You pour water in it, you fry it. We cannot warranty it against water. We can't warranty it against a blown speaker because we know what you're going to do with this speaker, and we can't have a revolving door of blown speakers. But the answer to that is offer you the necessary parts to rebuild them so you don't have to throw them in the trash. So you learn what you did wrong. You buy maybe one rebuild, you're back going.
Learn from the mistake.
Yeah, so very, very excited to have these. We expect to do a lot of videos coming up soon, a lot of builds, a lot of walkaways, and so on. Definitely keep watching Volunteer Audio's YouTube channel, and we'll add some sound hopefully to the end of this clip. I've got to finish this bike. Don't know when we're going to post a video, but I'm sure we'll be able to add it up there and let you hear exactly what it sounds like. Brandon's on with me a couple days, so I don't think he'll be here at that point. Nope. But watch. We've got the speaker comparison video coming very soon. I'm going to take Scotty, I'm going to take Rick. Hopefully I can get Samantha on film. She doesn't like getting on camera. But we're going to listen. We're going to do a blind listening between all the brands we have here at Volunteer Audio, and I expect these to do very, very well in that test. So watch for that video. Watch for the release video on this bike as we get some riding footage, some walkway footage. But excited to have these. I think it answers a solution. You know, at Volunteer Audio, if you go to our website, volunteeraudio.com, you look at motorcycle speakers, you're not going to see many with a horn because I personally think the normal compression horn speaker is way too bright. Other people's solution for that is to add a DSP, a second amplifier, and to control this tweeter on its own. and they want to do this and turn the tweeter down because they're using a speaker that's way too bright. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but with that being said, I want to talk about another feature on the speaker.
That's right.
So these are bi-amp capable, meaning the tweeter has its own set of connections and so does the mid. They're going to send you a jumper harness because I think most of the time you're just going to jump these together and you're going to be able to run these off an amp with no DSP, with no second amplifier, and you're going to be really happy with the sound and the outcome. If you do already have one of those systems, or maybe you've already put the second amp in, maybe you are running a DSP and you want to run them separate, the connections are there for you to do that. So the reason we brought it in though is I don't want to sell you the wrong speaker. I don't want to sell you a speaker that sounds bad and then sell you a DSP and try to EQ it into something that's not. This speaker is going to sound great right out of the box. And with that being said, I'm really, really glad we got it. I think it's a whole different level and something we didn't offer here before at Volunteer Audio. And I know we've got the right partner involved to make sure you have a great experience and the best end results. So definitely keep watching Volunteer Audio on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel for the latest information on all things motorcycle audio. We're going to keep you up to date with everything new as it comes out, and we're going to let you hear and see how to install it. So definitely like this video. By liking it, it's going to move us up in the YouTube search standings. It helps us, and we really appreciate you doing so. It's also going to allow other people to get this same content, allow them to see it, hopefully make the right decision in their audio buying experience as well. Comment below if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer those questions. Anything you've got, I'm pretty quick to reply to it. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and God bless.